Now, just to refresh everyone's memory, this past weekend we saw Sensation catch a 619-plus pound blue marlin, but it was disqualified due to mutilation to the fish before it was landed or boated. Okay, so that is a Rule 23 in the rule book there for the Big Rock tournament. So that fish was disqualified. Sushi takes home the prize for the most weight on a fish at just over 485 pounds. But captain of the Seawolf, Donnie White, joining us. You had an interesting event take place earlier in the fishing tournament. The boat April Mae was struck by lightning. Your boat, Donnie, the Seawolf, stayed with April Mae until the Coast Guard was able to arrive in order to rescue the boat. Take us to that time when you were there with April Mae. What was the damage to the boat, and was the boat sinking? What was actually happening out there?
The boat had got struck by lightning earlier in the day, and that was my lay day. I took a lay day. In other words, I did not fish. 7 o'clock in the afternoon, I get a call from Doc Brewer, who's the captain of the April Mae, saying he was in harm's way. He was in trouble. He was taking on water. He got struck by lightning, and actually the Sushi had been on standby beside him and had left to go weigh a dolphin for the daily. Anyways, long story short, I get to him. He's half sunk, boat's full of water. Wow, man! All the way till 3:30 in the morning before the Coast Guard got there.
Oh, wow.
I had to give him half of my batteries, wire, pumps, the whole 9 yards to get him going again. And then we towed him until the Coast Guard got there. I got back to the dock at 4:45. Never cut the motors off. People jumped on the boat. We took back off. Went fishing.
Wow.
So thank you, Donnie. Donnie White joining us right here on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. I'm Chris Lea. That's Dennis Jamel Cox. Last week we talked to Madison Struck from the Big Rock tournament, and I asked her specifically, since Seawolf was out there in the water to help somebody, does that count against them for a day in the water? And it sounded like it did. So you guys weren't going to be on the water that day at all, and you went out there to help somebody, and they counted it against you?
No, they did not. No.
They didn't count it against you. Okay, good.
No, sir.
Okay, because I think the question may have been along the lines of, does that count against April Mae because they were struck by lightning? I think that was maybe maybe what Madison was talking about. So again, let's go into that night. Then, how far off the coast was April Mae? And again, so you didn't get back until about 4 or so in the morning. What was there a bit of a scramble with the crew in order just to again prevent this boat from sinking?
Yes, sir. Like I said, the boat got struck by lightning.
Yep.
And they lost all power. And then they blew up a transmission. So they're dead in the water, no power, no lights, cell service. They were on the other side of the shoals. In other words, they were 14 miles out and then 12 miles up on the other side of the shoals towards Ocracoke.
Mm-hmm.
They were 27 and a half miles from the dock to get to them. And they couldn't tell me where they were. They had no lights. There definitely was a scramble. They had to get light sticks, like what you would use for sword fishing, and wave the light sticks at me. And long story short, we found them by and by. They were bucketing water where they had no pumps because they had no electricity whatsoever from the lightning strike. And it was definitely a scramble.
How many people were on their boat that you guys had to help out?
I'm not sure how many people were on the boat. I would say at least 7. Captain, 2 mates, and 4 anglers.
Wow.
But I'm really not sure. It was frantic. What got me was that the Sushi had left them to try to win a daily with a dolphin. And it was it was a big ordeal. If I wouldn't have got there another 45 minutes, they all would have been in the water swimming. Well, it was definitely going down.
Well, luckily you got there when you did.
Absolutely.
Donnie White, captain of the Seawolf, that was in the Big Rock fishing tournament, joining us here on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. All right, so Sushi wins the Big Rock with their blue marlin catch. I want to know your thoughts, your takes on Sensation and their blue marlin being disqualified due to mutilation.
I think it got bit because they fought it for 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I had hung one up the day before. It was 408 pounds. It took 35 minutes. I would attribute the shark bite to the amount of time the fish was in the water fighting. We definitely have a shark problem nowadays. The shark fishery's been shut down for about 12 years now, so there's no commercial fishing for them. And it's just getting more and more every year. This is definitely going to be a problem in the future with the shark bites. It is in the rules, and, you got to go by the rule book. But karma didn't go the right way. The shark should have bit Charlie's.
Well, I just want to ask you this really quick. Do you think that
Go
the
ahead.
rules should possibly be amended because of you're saying there's more sharks right now in the water than what there was before, and it took away somebody potentially winning that much money for that great event last week?
It definitely needs to be amended until they open the shark fishery back up. Like maybe take 100 pounds off the fish if it is bitten. I mean, I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways you could go about it, but it depends on the percentage. It was the shark bitten the tail, so then he couldn't, fight back. It's going to be a hard one. It's going to take a bunch of people. We're going to have to vote on that one. Who knows? I think by judging by the shark bite, what was on that fish 2 years ago, there was a blue marlin brought in with way more damage than that, and he was allowed to win the tournament.
Yeah, no,
Under the circumstances, I would have gave it to the Sensation.
Hey, that's fair. Hey, you know what? Everyone's got different thoughts and different viewpoints on this. But Donnie, thanks to you not only for giving us your time, but I'm sure the folks on the boat April Mae are thankful for you that you went out there and you were helped rescue that boat that was dead in the water, and you went out there and made sure that they got back to land safely before the Coast Guard was able to reach in. So thank you, Donnie, for doing that. Something you didn't have to do, but you willingly did it anyway. So thank you for your time, for joining us. Really do appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. It's kind of like an unwritten law for us fishermen. I would have want somebody to come help me.
That's fair.
You never leave a man behind, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Donnie White, really do appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.